Hey, are you frustrated trying to lose weight? Have you tried other programs without success and maybe regained all the weight and some? Hi, I'm Dr. Pete Hilgartner and I practice in Leesburg, Virginia, and I'm here to tell you that you may not be the problem. In fact, the problem is in our understanding of how we get fat. You see, most programs are based on the calories in, calories out approach, and there are significant flaws with this outdated model. For one, food is much more than simply energy and calories. Food is actually genuine replacement parts for your cells, your tissues, and your organs. Food is also programming information for your DNA, for your genetics. The type of food you eat is much more important than the number of calories in that food. While most programs are focused on the calories in, calories out, and yes, you do lose some fat, you're also going to start starving muscle and slowing down your metabolism. So once that happens and you return to normal eating, you're going to regain that weight out of self-preservation and for your body to get ready for the next famine. Another flaw in our understanding of obesity is that you don't actually have to weigh a lot to be over fat. For example, I've had some patients who weigh maybe 125 pounds who are suffering from chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, hormone imbalances, and even diabetes. And when we check their body fat percentage, they're at 48% body fat. Anything over 34% is considered clinically obese. So yes, you can be skinny and fat. Rather than losing weight, you should be focused on losing fat. The percentage of body fat is more important than how much you actually weigh. A little known fact is that fat cells are also a repository for your toxins. So another reason that fat loss is the focus rather than weight loss. When you lose weight, you release these toxins, and without specific procedures to eliminate them from your body's just going to repack them or look for more fat cells or build more fat cells again to go stick those toxins back in. So while we're talking about fat, let's talk about the three types of body fat that we're going to find. The first one is what we call essential fat. This is the fat that you use as fuel if you're an athlete or as you're going through the day. People who eat a lower sugar diet are going to be using more of this than people who are on high sugar. But this is what we're going to use when we start going into a weight loss program. We first start drawing on that essential fat. The next thing we're going to tap into is the structural fat. The structural fat is actually the stuffing that kind of holds our intestines, our organs, and everything in place. It's also padding the hands and the feet. Endurance runners know this one real well. When they start overtraining and they start really getting into a lot of miles, they start tapping into that structural fat. And if you've been dieting before where you're going into this phase, you start getting tender hands and feet because you're breaking down and digesting that stuff as fuel, okay? Then the third type of fat, and we typically, when we're going through a diet, we don't tap into this, is what we call non-essential fat. Now, this is the critical piece because this is the fat that in women, it builds up under the arms here, it builds up behind the neck, it builds up on the waist, the hips, the thighs, the little tummy pouch, all the moms out there that can't get rid of that little kangaroo pouch after they've had a few kids, and that's that thick, hard fat. That's that non-essential fat, and that's also the fat that your body wants to use as a repository or a storage compartment for toxins. In men, that fat builds up literally as the love handles, man boobs, sometimes on the hips and the buttocks. And obviously that big abdominal fat that guys walk around with, the big belly. So that's the kind of fat that we really need to tap into. Now, when you do a standard diet, what you're doing is you're going to burn off the essential fat, you're going to burn off the structural fat, and then you start breaking down muscle. And this is the flaw with the calories in, calories out, low-calorie starvation diets. We tap into muscle, we never get into non-essential fat. Now, the original researchers that found this out, they were studying women who were starving, but they were delivering healthy babies. And what they found is even though they were starving and they were going through and breaking down muscle for fuel, The baby is what was, the non-essential fat was actually the food for babies. Now guys might go, well, I'm not going to get pregnant and therefore I'm not going to have that fat. No, we all as humans have that. Women have more of it, but we all have that fat. And in our toxic world, that's the fat that gets built up because we're getting more and more toxins. Okay? So to solve this whole problem and actually burn this stuff off and not burning muscle off, I developed a very specific program. It's a 10-week program that I call Dr. Pete's Weight Loss for Life course for my patients. Now in this course, you're going to learn the best foods that you need to eat in order to lose weight and maintain weight. You're going to also learn all sorts of tips and tricks and lifestyle hacks for maintaining weight long term and maintaining the proper body fat percentage as well as optimal health. You're going to learn how to navigate the ever more toxic world that we live in order to maintain that weight and optimize your health as well. The other thing you're going to learn is how to navigate the many myths and truths about food, nutrition, health, and optimal aging. One of the most significant benefits that people have learned is we focus a lot on the subconscious perceptions, beliefs, and habits that actually undermine your ability to lose weight and your efforts for optimal health. Along the way, you're going to lose an average of 25 to 35 pounds of non-essential fat and a whole bunch of toxins you've been carrying around. Many of my past clients have reported significant reductions in all kinds of various symptoms: pain, arthritis, diabetes, fibromyalgia. I can name all kinds of different things that people have had a lot of reduction in those symptoms for. Okay, but they've also consistently reported increased energy and vitality and feelings of youth. So the best part is while you go through the program, you're not going to be hungry. Most diets, you start kind of getting into that starvation mode, and that's when you get into here. But in this program, you're never going to experience that. You're not going to have any issues with hunger. There's no shakes, there's no powders, no bars, no packaged foods. You're just eating real food. And yes, we do use some very specific proprietary supplements to help facilitate this process. Now, I'm only accepting a small number for my next class. If you're interested in learning more, and this has intrigued you a little bit, read my ebook down below. Okay, read through it thoroughly though, and if it makes sense to you, then register for our next course. These courses fill up fast because I only offer a couple of them a year. So if you're really ready to change your weight and to change your life, and that what you read in my ebook makes sense, then get in the next class, okay? I thank you for your time. I thank you for your attention. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in class.